Hi, my name is DHelbig. I'm currently enrolled in Toro's graduate program for education and special education studies. Today we'll be discussing ADHD, explaining what it is, its effects on students, and behavior modifications that can be used in the classroom. Symptoms of ADHD include inattention and/or hyperactivity and impulsivity. Inattention may not become apparent until a child enters the challenging environment of a school. A person with ADHD may have some or all of the following symptoms: difficulty paying attention to detail and tendency to make careless mistakes in school or other activities, producing work that is often messy or careless, easily distracted by irrelevant stimuli, and frequently interrupting ongoing tasks to attend to trivial noises or events that are usually ignored by others. Difficulty finishing schoolwork or paperwork or performing tasks that require concentration. Procrastination. Someone might frequently shift from one unaccomplished activity to another. Disorganized work habits. Forgetfulness of daily activities. For example, they might forget to bring their lunch to school that day. Hyperactivity may also become apparent in very young preschoolers that are nearly always present before the age of 7. Symptoms may include some of the following: fidgeting, squirming when seated, getting up frequently to walk or run around the room, running or climbing excessively when it's inappropriate, having difficulty playing quietly or engaging in quiet leisure activities, or always being on the go, and excessive talking. Symptoms of impulsivity may include impatience, difficulties laying responses, blurting out answers before the questions have even been completed, difficulty waiting one's turn, frequently interrupting or intruding on others to the point that it causes problems in social settings. They also may initiate conversations at inappropriate times. The long-term prognosis of ADHD: a great many children with ADHD ultimately adjust, though especially with an associated conduct or oppositional defiant disorder are most likely to drop out of school. These individuals fare more poorly in their careers than individuals who did not have ADHD. In the classroom, modeling behavior by encouraging good behavior by healthy rewards or praises is a very good idea. This works best when the reward or praise immediately follows the positive behavior. Negatively reinforcing bad behavior or allowing appropriate consequences to occur naturally. I chose to focus on behavior strategies, modification strategies for grades 5 through 9, since that's the area that I'm concentrating in. As much as possible, give clear instructions and explanations for tasks throughout the day. If the task is complex or lengthy, the best idea is to break it down to the smallest form so that the student is aware of what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and for how long it's going to happen. Also, reward the child appropriately. Set up a clear system of rewards, a point system or gold stars, so the child knows what to expect when they complete the task for their good behavior. It's important for teachers and parents to always set a good example for their child. Children with ADHD need role models for behavior more than other children do. That's why the adults in their life are very important. It's important for parents to be involved with their children, especially if they do have a disability, for example, ADHD. They should be aware of the schoolwork, they should be familiar with their teachers, they should be familiar with also the children that their child interacts with, and to encourage play dates and interactivity where their child is also when the child interacts with another child on the same level that they are. Today I decided to make some visuals that I would use in the classroom. Here I have signs that I would post in the classroom. Please raise your hand. Keep your eyes on me. Please line up quietly and quiet. It's a good idea to have these visuals posted around the classroom. This way that the student is constantly reminded what is expected of them. It's important for them to raise their hands because they will have problems with the impulsivity. So it's just a good idea to have these in the classroom as a form of a behavior modification. Students with ADHD also should have clear, concise instructions and information on what's going to happen in their classroom that day. Again, since I'm focusing on grades 5 through 9, I decided to base this on a 45-minute time schedule since my students will most likely be changing classes throughout the day. First one, review yesterday's homework. That'll take approximately 10 minutes. Discuss current events, also 10 minutes. Number 3, give them a background on the reading assignment that they will be doing that day. That would be 5 minutes. Number 4, a paired reading activity of 10 minutes. In special education settings, a lot of times it's suggested that the students pair off into reading activities. It also helps with their social interaction to help them develop that. And finally, 10 minutes would be a class discussion to discuss what they learned from the reading activity. If they have any new ideas that they wanted to share with the class, that would be time for that. So, like I said, this basically sums up what a 45-minute class would be. And if I were a teacher, I would definitely be using something like this in my classroom. Finally, I have the reward chart that gives the students an idea of what is expected of them. This one I titled it Mrs. Helbig's All Stars. First one is if they completed their homework for the night before. Did they raise their hands before asking a question? Did they remain seated during the whole class? Did they bring in a current events article? And did the child take notes during class? So, based on the stars that were received, for example, throughout a week, we could have some kind of contest, whether the child would receive a small gift from the teacher or a reward certificate, just something to have that student feel that they have accomplished, give them a sense of accomplishment. And also, you know, it's a constant reminder because they'll be hanging in the classroom, so they'll say, oh, you know what, I'm going to make sure I do my homework tomorrow. I want to get a star, as most of these kids did get a star. So these, like I said, were visuals that I decided that would be a good example for behavior modification in the classroom, specifically geared towards students with ADHD. Again, my name is DHelbig, and I am taking Professor Levy's class. Thank you for your time.